At 5:17 a.m., Alex finds an envelope outside. No name, no stamp, no reason to trust it. Inside is a bank statement bearing his full identity. But the date belongs to 1 year from today. Alex checks twice, then feels the room become colder. His future balance is 14 cents. Every account appears drained, frozen, or overdue. Then Alex sees one transfer larger than everything else. $200,000 went to Vail Recovery. Alex has never heard that name before. The statement also shows his apartment being sold. 1 week earlier, a court order emptied the account. The details are too accurate to dismiss immediately. Even yesterday's coffee appears exactly where it should. Then an unknown caller rings once and disappears. Alex saves evidence before touching anything else. He contacts the bank using a verified channel. The account details are real, but the date is impossible. No hacked session, transfer, or access appears. The document moves into a formal fraud review. The bank can investigate, but cannot explain tomorrow. Maya sees something Alex missed. A tiny new charge begins exactly 4 weeks ahead. North Star Advisory appears before every major loss. Alex finds an invitation he almost deleted. It offers a private strategy for selected professionals. The event begins in only 3 days. Daniel once called it the opportunity of a lifetime. Daniel is raising money for a rapid expansion. That evening, Daniel invites Alex to hear the proposal. Alex goes, carrying the warning nobody else has seen. The room looks expensive, exclusive, and carefully controlled. North Star promises stable returns through commercial property deals. Every chart rises smoothly as though risk does not exist. Daniel has already committed almost everything he owns. Then investors are asked to guarantee the company debt. Alex recognizes a contract number from the mysterious pages. This meeting is connected to the future collapse. Alex refuses, but Daniel believes fear is controlling him. On the street, Alex shows Daniel the impossible evidence. Daniel's business appears repeatedly before the court order. The statement predicts his company will default. And Alex becomes responsible for the missing money. Daniel calls the document manipulation, not prophecy. Maya asks one better question: what is true today? They begin with documents anyone can legally inspect. The company is new despite claiming a long history. Its impressive headquarters is only a rented mailbox. Different projects reuse the same building photographs. Some developments are supposedly built on public land. Daniel's certainty weakens one document at a time. Tomorrow, North Star expects Daniel's second payment. The payment would be funded through a secured loan. The presenter answers every concern without providing proof. Maya preserves the promises exactly as spoken. Urgency replaces evidence when Daniel continues questioning. Daniel finally pauses the payment. North Star's friendly tone disappears within minutes. They threaten exclusion, penalties, and public embarrassment. Daniel sees that loyalty was never part of the offer. But Vail Recovery still remains unexplained. Maya finds Vail Recovery inside old court records. It purchases failed loans for aggressive collection. Alex would lose his home covering Daniel's debt. The future is no longer mysterious, only preventable. They take the evidence to someone qualified to act. The pattern matches coordinated investment and loan manipulation. A careless accusation could destroy useful evidence. Daniel blocks the second payment through his bank. The bank traces where North Star has been moving funds. Alex includes the impossible statement despite expecting disbelief. Then the strangest clue appears inside the file. The document came from real bank reporting software. But it was created 48 hours ago, not next year. Someone removed the label identifying it as a projection. It is not prophecy, it is a modeled financial collapse. Someone used Alex's real information to model his ruin. That level of detail requires privileged financial access. The investigation suddenly moves far above normal customer support. One analyst accessed Alex's profile without authorization. Her surname is Vale, just like the collection company. Before anyone can question her, the bank removes her access. That night, Evelyn calls Maya directly. She requests a public meeting and no police. They arrive together, refusing secrecy. Evelyn brings files Northstar never expected anyone to see. Northstar had help approving dangerous guaranteed loans. Daniel's company was targeted for what could be seized. Alex's home made him a valuable guarantor. Vale recovery belonged to Evelyn's brother, not Evelyn. Evelyn discovered everything through confidential risk simulations. The statement was a warning disguised as an impossible future. She believed ordinary warnings would be ignored. Her warning was useful, but her methods were illegal. Evelyn accepts that consequence and provides the proof. The documents show fake valuations and deliberate loan failures. By morning, Northstar's presenter tries to disappear. Investigators freeze the network's remaining money. Part of Daniel's savings is recovered before transfer. Alex never becomes responsible for Daniel's debt. The exclusive opportunity becomes a public criminal investigation. Daniel abandons rapid expansion and protects the company. Alex creates rules no urgent opportunity can bypass. No guarantee is signed without independent professional review. Trusting a friend no longer means absorbing their debt. Presentation slides can never replace verified financial records. Large commitments now require time, questions, and distance. Daniel admits enthusiasm nearly destroyed them both. Alex keeps the document as evidence and reminder. Exactly 1 year later, Alex opens his account. The 14-cent future never arrives. Daniel's company survives by growing slowly and transparently. Maya places the real statement beside the warning. Nearly every predicted disaster has disappeared. But one new charge appears on today's statement. The company name is Tomorrow Ledger. Neither of them has ever heard that name. Then another envelope moves beneath the apartment door. This one is dated 2 years into the future. And this time, the balance...
Imagine checking your savings and finding absolutely nothing. Not less money, not a temporary loss, nothing. You refresh twice, then 10 more times. The number refuses to come back. The promise you're saving protected suddenly becomes exposed. The worst part is how ordinary yesterday felt. 24 hours earlier, Alex believed he was being smart. The confident expert promised safety, growth, and limited access. The offer looked urgent, exclusive, and almost risk-free. The hundreds of comments showed people celebrating impossible returns. This felt suspicious, but fear of missing out won. Transferred money meant for emergencies into one opportunity. Several hours, the decision looked brilliant. The platform showed profits faster than his salary could grow. Then Alex went to sleep believing his future was safer. By morning, the app had disappeared completely. The website vanished, along with every promise it contained. The support numbers failed before anyone answered. The expert who sounded certain had become unreachable. Then does Alex understand what he truly lost? Transfer was real, immediate, and already irreversible. Before panic destroys more decisions. The payment carried Alex's own approval. The investigation begins without any promise of recovery. The call ends, the apartment feels dangerously quiet. Food, rent, and power still require real money. The digital loss now becomes a physical survival problem. Next paycheck is more than 2 weeks away. That is when fear starts offering terrible solutions. That appears immediately disguised as rescue. One expensive loan could make the panic disappear today, but tomorrow would inherit every dollar plus interest. Alex stops just before creating a second disaster. Instead, he begins with the truth. Remains what is due and when. Only essential expenses survive the first review. Everything optional disappears before breakfast. The result gives him less than 9 days. 9 days must somehow reach the next paycheck. Every day receives a strict financial boundary. Before shopping, Alex counts what he already owns. The simple ingredients become more valuable than investment charts. Each item must produce more than one useful meal. Meal preparation removes expensive decisions from stressful evenings. Convenience loses every argument against survival. Transportation becomes a puzzle of money, time, and energy. The bicycle handles every trip it safely can. The bus covers distances that walking cannot. Day one ends without breaking the plan. Then a new message promises to recover everything. The stranger claims special access to frozen investment funds. There's only one condition: pay another fee first. Desperation makes the second lie feel believable. Maya arrives seconds before Alex makes another mistake. Least the same urgency, certainty, and secrecy. The recovery offer is simply the next layer. This time, Alex keeps the message instead of obeying it. Together, they turn chaos into a documented timeline. Each screenshot may help investigators connect the stolen money. The scam is reported through verified institutions, not strangers. Alex secures every account connected to the failed platform. The unique passwords and second-factor protection close additional doors. He removes every permission he no longer understands. Then Maya asks the hardest question of all. Why was survival money exposed to investment risk? Emergency remained boring, liquid, and available. Regret is useful only when it changes the next decision. Alex communicates early before rent becomes overdue. He shares enough truth to request temporary flexibility. Leave extension creates time, not forgiveness. Lisa asks which bills can be safely delayed. Changing timing reduces pressure without creating new debt. Next, Alex searches his apartment for trapped value. Objects become emergency assets. The first sale extends the survival timeline immediately. The second sale protects food and transportation. Every new dollar receives a job before it can disappear. But selling possessions cannot become a permanent strategy. Looks for problems he can solve quickly. A nearby bakery keeps losing time to disorganized orders. Alex proposes a simple weekend solution. The system uses tools he already understands. Mistakes fall and delivery routes become shorter. Payments is small, but it creates breathing room. This time, safety receives money before anything else. Aya helps him rebuild the system around separate purposes. Bills, emergencies, and investments receive different boundaries. Then Alex investigates why the scam felt so convincing. Professional appearance created credibility without real proof. The social proof was manufactured to silence hesitation. Urgency prevented Alex from verifying important details. Guaranteed profit was the clearest warning he ignored. Now every opportunity must survive several independent checks. Who holds the money matters more than who promotes it. Mandatory pause protects Alex from emotional timing. No major transfer happens on the same day. Later, the next paycheck finally arrives. Basic stability receives priority over rapid recovery. Each paycheck now rebuilds safety before lifestyle. The weekend project develops into repeated work. Another business asks Alex to organize its customer requests. Low income begins repairing what fast promises destroyed. Meanwhile, the official investigation moves painfully slowly. Alex discovers hundreds of people followed the same illusion. Eventually, investigators locate several accounts used by the network. but most of the money has already moved beyond reach. Later, Alex receives only a small fraction back. Lee treats recovered money as stability, not victory. The screenshot stays as evidence of a permanent lesson. Alex decides the mistake should protect more than one person. The workshop begins with the warning signs he ignored. Then he explains why survival money must remain protected. Time becomes a security tool against emotional decisions. A year later, his savings are smaller but stronger. Security now comes from structure, not one impressive balance. Then, another perfect opportunity appears without warning. Safety, speed, exclusivity, and impossible certainty. This time, Alex feels no fear of missing out. Losing money taught him that trust must be earned. If every dollar vanished tonight, what would you rebuild first?
Imagine starting your car tomorrow and hearing one terrible sound. The engine shakes, the dashboard flashes, and everything stops. You are already late, and now your transport is gone. That is exactly how Alex's morning begins. He turns the key again, hoping the problem disappears. Instead, the engine produces an even worse noise. A warning light glows like an expensive prediction. Alex checks the time and feels his stomach tighten. Work begins soon, but the car cannot move. For years, he treated transportation as something automatic. Now every obligation depends on a machine that failed. Alex calls a tow service from the roadside. The quoted price hurts before repairs even begin. A truck carries the car toward a nearby garage. Alex watches his normal routine disappear behind it. At the garage, the mechanic opens the damaged engine. The first estimate is larger than Alex's savings. Several parts must be replaced before the car is safe. The final number feels almost impossible to absorb. Alex asks whether the repair can wait. The mechanic warns that driving could cause worse damage. One desperate trip might destroy the entire engine. Alex leaves the car and walks home slowly. The repair estimate follows him like a shadow. At home, he spreads bills across the kitchen table. Rent, food, utilities, and medicine still need payment. Now transportation demands money he never planned to spend. Alex checks his emergency fund and feels immediate relief. Then he realizes it covers only part of the repair. The remaining gap is large enough to create real danger. A credit card offer appears like the easiest answer. One quick payment could return the car tomorrow. But interest would keep the emergency alive for months. Alex calculates the true cost of borrowing. The repair becomes far more expensive after interest. He closes the credit offer and pauses. The first goal is movement, not restoring the old routine. Alex lists every place he must reach this week. Work, groceries, medicine, and one important appointment. Not every trip requires a private car. He studies buses, trains, cycling, walking, and ride-sharing. Each option carries a different cost and time. The bus is cheap but doubles his commute. Ride-sharing is fast but destroys the weekly budget. Cycling works, but only for shorter routes. Walking is free, but time becomes the price. Alex builds a temporary transport plan. He uses the bus for work and walks for groceries. The old bicycle returns for nearby errands. One ride is delayed, but the day continues. The inconvenience is real, yet the crisis becomes manageable. Alex calls the mechanic and requests a detailed estimate. He asks which repairs are essential for safety. Some recommended work can wait without creating danger. The mechanic separates urgent repairs from future maintenance. That distinction immediately reduces the first payment. Alex requests prices from two other repair shops. One estimate is cheaper but uses lower quality parts. Another is higher but includes a stronger warranty. The cheapest choice may become expensive later. Alex compares parts, labor, warranty, and reputation. He chooses the safest repair he can realistically afford. Still, the funding gap remains. Maya visits after hearing about the breakdown. She asks one question Alex had avoided. Does he truly need this specific car? Alex thinks about fuel, insurance, parking, and repairs. The car has been expensive even while working. Its failure only revealed costs that were always present. Maya suggests comparing repair with replacement and selling. Alex checks the car's current market value. A major repair would consume much of that value. Replacing the car would require even more money. Selling it broken would produce very little cash. Every option contains a different kind of loss. Alex creates 3 complete cost scenarios: repair and keep, repair and sell, or replace immediately. He includes insurance, fuel, maintenance, and financing. The monthly totals reveal a surprising answer. Repairing and keeping the car is cheapest for now, but only if Alex changes how he uses it. He decides the car will no longer handle every trip. Public transit and cycling remain part of the plan. Lower mileage will reduce fuel and future maintenance. Now Alex needs to close the repair gap. He looks around his apartment for unused value. An old tablet, spare furniture, and unused equipment appear. Alex lists several items for sale on. The first buyer collects the tablet that evening. Another buyer takes a chair the next morning. The cash moves directly into the repair envelope. Alex also asks whether the garage offers installments. The mechanic agrees to 2 payments without extra interest. A written agreement makes the arrangement clear. The remaining gap becomes much smaller. Alex offers weekend delivery planning to a local shop. The owner needs help reducing fuel and wasted routes. Alex reorganizes deliveries using shorter paths. The shop saves time and Alex earns a fair payment. One practical skill closes the final repair gap. The garage begins replacing the damaged part. Alex continues commuting by bus during the repair. He notices how much reading time the bus provides. The longer commute is not entirely wasted. Several days later, the mechanic finishes the work. Alex inspects the invoice before making payment. Every charge matches the written estimate. The car starts smoothly for the first time. Alex feels relief, but not the old confidence. He now understands that transportation can fail anytime. A small car repair fund begins with the next paycheck. Alex saves a little after every trip and payment. He keeps bus routes and bicycle equipment ready. The emergency plan remains active even after recovery. Months later, another warning light appears. This time, Alex does not ignore it. Early maintenance prevents another major repair. The smaller bill feels almost like a reward. Alex faces the viewer beside several transport options. If your car died tomorrow, how would you keep moving? Alex sleeps while silent security alerts glow beside him. A shadowy stranger copies Alex's profile from a screen. His personal details drift toward the anonymous digital thief. The stranger combines fragments into one convincing digital identity. A fake login appears beside Alex's real banking app. The attacker enters Alex's email using one stolen password. Security warnings vanish before Alex ever notices them overnight. The thief resets Alex's banking password through compromised email. Alex loses access while the stranger takes complete control. Money begins leaving Alex's account before sunrise arrives quietly. A new credit account opens under Alex's stolen name. Loan documents appear beside his copied digital identity profile. Expensive electronics fill a shopping cart under Alex's name. The thief redirects every delivery toward a hidden pickup.
Alex's credit score falls while he remains asleep peacefully. Morning sunlight enters as Alex reaches for his phone. Several declined payment alerts appear across his phone screen. Alex opens banking, but his password no longer works. He tries again while more urgent warnings keep appearing. Unknown transfers appear, each carrying Alex's own legal name. Alex calls the bank while pacing around his apartment. A support agent asks difficult questions to verify him. Alex cannot remember one old address used for verification. The bank finally freezes all movement inside the account. Alex faces an empty wallet and frozen banking screen. Rent, food, and utility bills continue surrounding him helplessly. Deleted alerts reveal the attack began inside his email. Login history shows access from an unfamiliar distant location. The same reused password appears across several different websites. One stolen password opens many digital doors at once. Alex changes his email password using one trusted device. He signs out every active session from the account. Two-factor authentication activates on Alex's personal phone immediately. Backup recovery codes are printed and stored somewhere safe. Alex changes passwords for banking, shopping, and social accounts. A password manager organizes every new unique login securely. Alex checks email settings for hidden forwarding rules carefully. He removes one suspicious address secretly copying security messages. Unknown connected applications lose access to Alex's email account. His phone carrier confirms someone attempted transferring his number. Alex adds a carrier PIN against future number transfers. The bank's fraud team reviews every disputed transaction carefully. Alex marks legitimate payments and separates every fraudulent charge. The compromised card is canceled and a replacement arrives. Alex opens a backup envelope containing limited emergency cash. He buys food and transport without touching frozen funds. Maya arrives after Alex calls her for urgent help. She organizes a clear paper checklist across the table. The plan separates banking, email, phone, credit, and documents. Alex records every date, caller, name, and case number. Alex contacts a credit bureau using his trusted laptop. A fraud alert appears across Alex's entire credit profile. A credit freeze blocks all new borrowing activity immediately. Several fake loan applications fail against the active freeze. Alex reviews every credit report entry line by line. One unfamiliar loan appears under Alex's stolen identity unexpectedly. Alex submits a formal dispute using his collected evidence. The lender requests official proof before removing fraudulent debt. Alex completes the official identity theft report for investigators. He keeps original documents and sends controlled copies only. A timeline connects the email breach with bank transfers. The reused password appears as the first critical weakness. Alex remembers clicking a fake delivery message weeks earlier. He recalls entering his details into the imitation page. The phishing page secretly forwarded everything to the attacker. Alex stares at the old message, feeling deeply ashamed. Maya points toward the checklist and redirects his focus. Alex reports the phishing message to the service provider. The fraudulent website is flagged and removed from service. Alex warns friends not to trust messages from him. Several friends received urgent money requests supposedly from Alex. Maya helps identify which messages came from the impersonator. Alex creates a private verification phrase with close contacts. He removes birthdays and addresses from public social profiles. Alex checks whether his email appeared in known breaches. Several forgotten services reveal earlier exposure of personal information. Alex closes every unused account that remains unnecessarily active. He updates every recovery email address and phone number. Only Alex's trusted devices remain connected to important accounts. Automatic transaction alerts activate across all payment methods immediately. Alex sets lower limits on cards and money transfers. He separates daily spending money from long-term savings. The savings account has no direct everyday card access. A separate backup payment method is stored securely offline. Copies of essential identification documents enter a secure box. Weeks pass while lenders and banks send official letters. One bank restores part of the stolen money eventually. Another lender still demands payment for the fraudulent loan. Alex sends evidence again and requests written confirmation immediately. The fraudulent loan is finally removed from his report. Alex's credit score slowly begins recovering after the dispute. Another suspicious message arrives looking frighteningly convincing and urgent. Alex checks the sender, link, urgency, and request carefully. He contacts the company through its trusted official application. The company confirms the alarming message is completely fraudulent. Maya smiles as Alex calmly deletes the dangerous message. Alex creates a neighborhood workshop about practical digital safety. Neighbors gather around Alex's simple presentation board for guidance. One password opens many symbolic digital doors at once. Different passwords close and protect each account separately again. A phone code blocks a thief holding stolen credentials. An urgent fake message faces a calm verification checklist. Legitimate bank staff never request secret authentication codes directly. Neighbors practice checking web addresses, senders, and suspicious wording. An older resident adds a protective carrier PIN successfully. A shop owner separates reserves from daily business payments. A student removes personal details from every public profile. Households create emergency contact plans for suspicious financial messages. Alex watches neighbors help each other secure their devices. Months later, Alex reviews his mostly restored financial accounts. His organized recovery folder remains ready for future problems. Cash, backup cards, and documents remain stored securely together. Alex receives a genuine alert about one routine purchase. He recognizes the purchase and closes the notification calmly. A distant attacker tries Alex's old password and fails. Multiple security barriers block every attempted entry from advancing. Alex and Maya walk through a permanently connected city. Alex stands beside symbols representing identity, money, and trust. The symbols form a network protected by several locks. If someone became you tonight, when would you notice?
Imagine waking up tomorrow to an urgent financial warning. Your bank balance is unchanged, but its power is weaker. At the coffee shop, familiar prices suddenly become twice as high. Even a simple breakfast now feels like an expensive luxury. Across the economy, everyday costs begin climbing at once. Customers enter normally, then freeze when they see the prices. Cashiers confirm the painful truth while frustrated shoppers protest. Alex realizes his money now buys only half as much. His paycheck remains fixed while every essential expense doubles. Across the city, red price signals appear almost everywhere. Fuel prices jump and anxious drivers form long lines. Delivery companies immediately face higher costs on every route. Supermarket workers replace price tags throughout entire aisles. Fear spreads and shoppers rush toward essential supplies. Alex feels the panic but stops before following it. One person hoards, while someone behind them finds nothing. Alex compares products by how many meals they provide. He chooses basic ingredients that are nutritious, flexible, and durable. At checkout, his small basket produces a shocking total. He returns home carrying less food and much more worry. That night, Alex places every bill and receipt together. His old monthly budget no longer reflects reality. Essential costs consume nearly every available dollar he earns. Only a tiny amount remains for savings and emergencies. Alex calculates his financial runway instead of guessing. He measures his remaining money in days, not dollars. The answer is far shorter than he expected. He divides his available cash into 4 weekly limits. Every envelope now protects one essential category only. Shopping, delivery, and entertainment apps are removed immediately. Takeout disappears, and cooking becomes the cheaper alternative. Alex prepares several simple meals in one cooking session. He stores each portion carefully for the coming days. Food with the shortest life moves to the front. A dripping faucet reveals another source of silent waste. Alex fixes the leak and reduces unnecessary electricity use. Unused devices are unplugged, lowering power consumption further. Next, Alex studies every possible route to work. He compares fuel, transit, cycling, and walking costs. The car stays parked while the old bicycle returns. Alex rides past drivers trapped in an expensive fuel line. At work, commuting costs dominate the morning conversation. Coworkers compare receipts and discover the same financial shock. Management explains that immediate pay raises are impossible. Employees become distracted as financial anxiety enters the workplace. Nearby, a restaurant owner raises menu prices to survive. Many customers see the changes and simply walk away. The owner faces expensive supplies and increasingly empty tables. Alex begins studying how rising prices travel through systems. Fuel, transport, food, wages, rent, and retail are connected. When one link rises, it pulls the others upward. People also begin expecting prices to rise again tomorrow. That fear makes shoppers purchase earlier than necessary. Extra demand empties shelves and creates even higher prices. Alex watches panic feed the very crisis causing it. He creates one rule: never buy only from fear. From now on, every purchase must follow a prepared plan. Then suspicious advertisements promise protection from rising prices. Fake experts offer secret investments and impossible guaranteed profits. An urgent countdown almost pushes Alex into clicking. Instead, he closes the ad and verifies the information. A frightened friend suggests borrowing heavily before prices rise. Credit cards promise quick relief with very little resistance. But temporary comfort creates much larger future obligations. Alex calculates interest beside his already doubled living costs. Credit becomes reserved only for genuine emergencies. Next, Alex searches his apartment for usable financial value. Unused clothes, appliances, electronics, and tools fill one corner. He photographs the best items and lists them online. A buyer arrives and collects an old electronic device. Alex places the payment directly into his emergency reserve. Then he examines the practical skills he already possesses. Repair, cooking, budgeting, planning, and organization can create value. Alex begins offering affordable bicycle repairs to nearby residents. He restores a loose chain for one grateful neighbor. The neighbor pays a small, fair price for the repair. Alex also helps a family plan affordable weekly meals. Cheap ingredients become several different nutritious meal combinations. A local shop owner needs help reducing delivery expenses. Alex redesigns the routes to remove unnecessary travel. Fuel use falls, and the shop saves valuable money. Alex records 3 new income sources in his notebook. Together, they support the paycheck like additional stable pillars. Maya arrives with her own notebook of changing prices. She compares several stores instead of trusting yesterday's memory. Her chart separates foods that remain affordable from costly ones. Maya replaces expensive foods with cheaper, nutritious alternatives. Alex and Maya organize a coordinated neighborhood bulk purchase. Several families divide one large rice supply fairly. They combine shopping trips and share transportation expenses. A community tool shelf reduces unnecessary duplicate purchases. Neighbors begin exchanging useful skills instead of spending cash. Teaching one child can be exchanged for one bicycle repair. Alex watches this local support network become stronger, but scarcity also attracts dishonest sellers and fake products. The group inspects suspicious cooking oil and rejects it. Another resident attempts to sell water at an extreme price. Neighbors refuse and share fair price information publicly. Their board identifies reliable stores, supplies, and current costs. Cooperation turns information into another form of protection. Weeks pass, yet the city's high prices remain. Alex keeps cycling, cooking, repairing, and monitoring every expense. Almost no usable food now enters his waste container. His emergency reserve remains small but finally stable. Payments arrive from repairs, planning, and organization work. High prices remain, yet Alex no longer reacts with panic. Eventually, the fastest price increases begin to slow. Store shelves refill, although prices stay above the past. Customers now compare products before making every decision. The restaurant adapts with simpler meals and smaller portions. Delivery vehicles follow Alex's shorter and more efficient routes. Alex compares his fragile old budget with the new one. The old plan depended on cheap prices and constant convenience. The new plan includes reserves, skills, alternatives, and multiple incomes. Alex stores essential food carefully without creating waste. Cash, tools, savings, transport, and supplies create real flexibility. Maya keeps the neighborhood information board accurate and updated. Alex now sees luxury spending as lost survival time. He can spend, save, adapt, or create another income path. When prices rise, shared resources and strong relationships preserve choices.
Imagine waking up rich, yet unable to buy breakfast. Your money remains visible, but it cannot move anywhere. Across the city, every payment system suddenly stops working. Phones disconnect, digital wallets freeze, and banking apps fail. Cash machines reject everyone, regardless of their account balance. Cards fail, scanners freeze, and checkout lines stop moving. Within minutes, the modern economy stands completely still. This is when Alex discovers how fragile convenience really is. His coffee is ready, but no payment method works. Alex laughs nervously, but the cashier does not laugh. Confusion spreads quickly, turning patience into anger and fear. Everyone searches for another machine, but every machine fails. People grab water, food, medicine, batteries, and basic supplies. Ordinary products suddenly feel more valuable than digital numbers. Fuel lines grow longer as uncertainty spreads through every neighborhood. A few hours seem manageable, but what about several days? What if the payment failure lasts an entire week? Then Alex remembers the cash he once stored away. One loaf of bread now feels more real than thousands. He stops guessing and decides to prepare with clear priorities. At home, he checks what can actually sustain him. Water comes first, because money cannot prevent dehydration. Next comes food that lasts without constant refrigeration or power. Medicine matters more than luxury when systems become unreliable. Light, communication, and stored energy become essential survival tools. A bicycle may outperform a car when fuel becomes unavailable. He builds his plan around survival, not social status. His priorities are water, food, medicine, energy, and movement. The goal is not hoarding, but creating breathing room. With a plan, uncertainty becomes smaller and more manageable. He spends carefully, purchasing only items that solve real problems. Dry food provides dependable nutrition with very little energy. He stores water before the public supply becomes unstable. He learns cooking methods that need minimal electricity or fuel. Basic tools protect resources and extend how long they last. But cash is only backup, never a perfect solution. Too little is useless. Too much creates different risks. He divides emergency cash instead of keeping everything together. He refuses dependence on one bank, device, or method. Resilience begins by removing every single point of failure. Soon, rising prices reveal another hidden weakness inside money. The note looks identical, but it buys less daily. Short supplies make fair pricing difficult for buyers and sellers. Some stores accept cash, while others reject it completely. Elsewhere, people prefer practical goods instead of paper currency. Water is cheap normally, but priceless during a shortage. A forgotten toolkit can suddenly generate valuable income. Skills, time, and reliability begin competing directly with money. Value now depends on usefulness, scarcity, and mutual trust. He begins measuring wealth through capability, not account size. Alex is not preparing alone, and that changes everything. Maya organizes, while Mr. Chen understands local supply needs. A young technician can repair devices and restore communication. Together, they list what everyone has and needs. They map resources, shortages, abilities, and vulnerable households. Alex offers repairs, transportation, and practical mechanical assistance. Maya designs a fair system for storage and distribution. Mr. Chen supplies food carefully, instead of encouraging panic. The student builds backup power and checks damaged electronics. Individually, they are exposed. Together, they become much stronger. Their first exchange is simple, practical, and immediately useful. Alex trades repair work for battery and technical help. Maya manages inventory while Mr. Chen distributes essential food. Nobody becomes rich, but everyone becomes less fragile. They create one board for needs, offers, and updates. Important transactions are written down to prevent future conflict. Water, medicine, and food always receive the highest priority. The elderly, children, and sick households receive help first. No single person controls every resource or important decision. Trust grows stronger when fairness is supported by transparency. But every crisis creates opportunities for criminals and deception. Fraudulent pages can look almost identical to real banking sites. They request secret information and pressure victims to respond quickly. Others promise instant cash through unrealistic cryptocurrency exchange deals. Some sell imaginary products, then disappear after receiving payment. Alex nearly falls for a perfectly timed fraudulent message. An unusual link and urgent language make him stop. The neighbors verify serious claims through several trusted sources. They never share passwords, verification codes, or private details. Critical exchanges are confirmed face-to-face and documented on paper. Alex finally sees finance as a system, not numbers. Banks depend on electricity, communication, transport, stores, and trust. When terminals fail, they use cash or written credit. When transport fails, they purchase from nearby local producers. When fuel disappears, bicycles keep people and supplies moving. When the grid weakens, solar power protects essential equipment. When networks fail, radios and fixed meeting points remain. Alex teaches safe water storage and careful household conservation. Maya creates schedules so supplies move predictably and fairly. Small solutions become powerful when connected into one system. Then another crisis arrives. Electricity fails across the city. Stores close, streets darken, and distribution lines form again. This time, the neighborhood is prepared instead of helpless. They release supplies according to verified household needs. Medical supplies prevent small problems from becoming serious emergencies. Backup power keeps essential lights and communication equipment operating. Bicycles deliver supplies where motor vehicles cannot travel. Skilled cooks transform limited ingredients into efficient shared meals. Verified information replaces dangerous rumors spreading through frightened crowds. Preparation cannot remove hardship, but it prevents immediate chaos. Still, fear and scarcity can make cooperation extremely difficult. Some offer false goods, hoping urgency hides the deception. Others attempt to sell fear at an unreasonable price. The community checks products and documents every serious trade. Important decisions require shared authority, not individual control. Transparency protects trust when emotions threaten to divide everyone. A full safe means little without clean drinking water. A digital fortune cannot purchase dinner through a disabled device. Useful skills keep producing value when formal markets stop. Resilience grows when businesses and residents cooperate openly. Eventually, electricity returns and payment systems slowly recover. Machines glow again, and successful transactions bring visible relief. But Alex and his neighbors refuse to forget everything. They maintain modest reserves instead of returning to dependence. He follows one rule: never depend on one system. He manages expenses and unexpected costs with greater discipline. Preparation does not make him fearful, it makes him calm. Real security combines resources, skills, alternatives, and trustworthy people. True wealth is measured by how many choices remain. Because one broken system should never control your entire life.
Imagine having only $500 for 30 days. No new paycheck and no easy escape. Every essential expense now competes for the same money. That is the challenge Alex faces on Monday morning. Rent alone could consume almost everything he has. His refrigerator contains food for only several days. Transport and medicine cannot simply be ignored. The money must survive longer than his fear. So Alex pauses before making any desperate decision. His first weapon is not money, but a plan. He writes the full amount where he can see it. Then he removes the costs that cannot be avoided. Every remaining dollar receives a specific responsibility. The first calculation is brutally honest. At this pace, his money disappears far too early. So he rebuilds the plan from zero. The month becomes 4 smaller battles instead of 1. Each week receives a strict spending limit. A tiny emergency reserve must remain untouched. Now every purchase must protect the next 30 days. Before buying anything, Alex checks what he already owns. Simple ingredients become the foundation of survival. One ingredient must create more than one meal. Nutrition matters because cheap food can still be wasteful. He shops with a list, never with hunger. Snacks lose the argument against real meals. Packaging stops mattering when value becomes the goal. Every item must earn its place in the basket. For once, the receipt matches the plan. Careful storage protects money from becoming food waste. He cooks several meals in one efficient session. Prepared portions remove the temptation of expensive takeout. The oldest food is used before anything new. Waste becomes unacceptable when every meal has a purpose. Bottled convenience disappears from the monthly budget. Even daily coffee becomes a choice instead of a habit. Next, he reduces the cost of electricity. Small savings matter when the margin is this thin. One leaking faucet is money disappearing quietly. A simple repair protects the utility budget. Transportation becomes the next problem to solve. Each option costs either money, time, or energy. Ride-sharing is fast but financially dangerous now. The bus wins because the month is longer than one morning. The bicycle handles trips that do not require transit. Walking costs nothing but requires better planning. No single method needs to handle every journey. Preparation turns slower transport into reliable transport. The unused car stops consuming money for unnecessary trips. Week 1 ends and Alex is still on schedule. But the second week brings a different challenge. His necessary medicine needs replacing sooner than expected. The real price exceeds the number in his budget. He asks questions instead of silently paying. A safe lower-cost option reduces the pressure. The new expense is recorded immediately, not forgotten. Part of the emergency reserve must finally be used. One surprise forces the entire month to adjust. Something enjoyable must temporarily give way. Free does not mean empty when the choice is intentional. Maya notices that Alex is carrying unusual stress. He finally tells someone the truth about his situation. A second pair of eyes finds what panic missed. 3 small charges are still quietly draining money. They disappear before taking another weekly payment. Then Maya asks what Alex but never uses. The apartment contains value hidden inside clutter. 3 forgotten objects can create several days of breathing room. He lists them carefully at fair, realistic prices. The first buyer responds before the night ends. The sale immediately strengthens the third weekly envelope. A second sale converts unused space into useful cash. He assigns the money before excitement can spend it. Some of the new cash rebuilds the damaged safety buffer. Next, Alex searches for value beyond possessions. His existing skills may solve other people's problems. One neighbor needs help organizing a crowded apartment. Alex finishes the work faster than the neighbor expected. The payment is small but perfectly timed. For the first time, the month gains money instead of losing it. Alex repeats the service instead of treating it as luck. Another client wants unused belongings photographed and listed. Alex turns clutter into a simple resale system. The result creates value for both people. 2 small payments begin changing the entire month. Maya prevents extra work from consuming all his energy. A survival plan must also protect health. Preparation prevents exhaustion from becoming expensive takeout. Saying no protects both quality and time. By the end of week 3, the plan is stronger. The final week begins with a small advantage. He checks upcoming obligations before feeling safe. Reduced waste has created a real financial result. Small daily actions finally appear as visible saving. The mixed transport plan continues working. Food remains available because portions were managed carefully. Then one social invitation tests the entire system. Honesty creates a better option than financial pretending. Connections survives without an expensive bill. A smaller budget should not erase every relationship. Day 28 arrives with the challenge nearly complete. There is less money, but more than he expected. The emergency reserve survived the month. Extra income prevented the budget from collapsing. The first plan failed, but adaptation changed the outcome. Alex spent less without eliminating every meaningful experience. Food, transport, and health stayed protected. Most importantly, no new debt followed him forward. The final dollars become the beginning of a stronger reserve. 30 days in, but the lesson does not. The next paycheck finally arrives the following morning. This time, relief does not become reckless spending. An emergency fund becomes a fixed monthly priority. The envelope system remains because it made money visible. Useful habits stay even after the immediate pressure ends. The temporary side job becomes a lasting income option. Alex now has savings, skills, and several choices. The challenge was never only about the starting amount. It was about how quickly he could adapt. With only $500, how long would you last? Imagine opening one letter and watching your rent double. Your apartment is unchanged, but its price is suddenly brutal. Your salary remains fixed while housing consumes nearly everything. That is the warning Alex receives on Monday morning. At first, he assumes the number must be wrong. Then the landlord confirms the increase is completely real. The new payment begins at the start of next month. Alex has only 30 days to rebuild his life. His home suddenly feels less like shelter than pressure. And every familiar room now carries a hidden cost. Alex checks his bank balance beside the new rent. The numbers no longer fit even before food and bills. Electricity, transport, medicine, and groceries still need money. One expense has swallowed the space for everything else. Alex feels trapped between staying and leaving immediately. But panic creates expensive decisions, so he pauses. He spreads every monthly expense across the kitchen table. Then he rebuilds his budget using the new housing cost. The result is worse than he expected. His emergency savings would disappear within a few months. Alex calculates exactly how long he can survive. He measures his money in weeks instead of dollars. Every unnecessary expense now removes valuable time. Subscriptions disappear before the first cup of coffee. Takeout, shopping, and entertainment are cut immediately. He keeps food, transport, medicine, power, and communication. Comfort becomes optional, but basic stability does not. Alex separates his remaining money into weekly envelopes. Each envelope protects one essential part of daily life. The new system slows spending but cannot solve rent. So Alex calls the landlord before avoiding the problem. He asks for the reasons behind the sudden increase. The landlord mentions repairs, insurance, taxes, and higher costs. Alex listens carefully and requests every detail in writing. A written record turns confusion into something he can review. He asks whether a smaller increase is possible. The landlord refuses at first and points to demand. Several applicants are already waiting for available apartments. Alex realizes the negotiation needs more than emotion. He gathers proof of reliable payments and careful maintenance. Years of good behavior become his strongest bargaining tool. He offers a longer lease for a smaller increase. He also offers flexible timing for scheduled repairs. The landlord considers the stability of keeping a trusted tenant. A compromise appears, but the rent remains painfully high. Alex gains complete rescue. Now he must decide whether staying still makes sense. He compares the apartment with cheaper neighborhoods nearby. Some options cost less but require longer daily travel. Others are smaller, older, or far from essential services. The cheapest apartment may create expensive transportation costs. Alex compares rent, transport, power, safety, and commute time. One distant apartment looks cheap until fuel is included. Another is smaller but close enough for cycling. A third requires a deposit Alex cannot. Moving costs can make a cheaper home temporarily expensive. Alex adds deposits, truck boxes, and connection fees. Maya arrives with a notebook and practical questions. She asks what Alex truly needs from a home. Not status, space, or an impressive address. He needs safety, sleep, transport, and affordable stability. That definition immediately removes several unsuitable options. Maya suggests sharing the apartment with a roommate. Alex worries about privacy, habits, trust, and conflict. But an empty room currently produces no value. They calculate how much a fair roommate contribution changes. The new number makes staying possible again. Still, choosing the wrong roommate could create another crisis. Alex creates clear rules before searching for anyone. Payment timing, cleaning, guests, noise, and shared expenses matter. He refuses to rely on informal promises alone. A simple written agreement protects both people. Alex interviews several potential roommates carefully. One offers more money but avoids basic question. Another seems friendly but has unstable income. A third applicant provides references and communicates clearly. Alex chooses reliability over the highest possible payment. The new roommate moves in with only essential belongings. The apartment feels different, but the pressure becomes lighter. Shared internet and utilities reduce cost for both people. They divide storage, cleaning, and common responsibilities fairly. A visible schedule prevents small problems from becoming resentment. Alex keeps an emergency boundary around personal money. Shared housing never means combining every financial account. The roommate contribution solves only part of the problem. Alex still needs additional monthly income. He studies which local services people urgently need. Many neighbors are also struggling with higher housing costs. Some need help moving, organizing, repairing, or selling belongings. Alex offers simple weekend moving and organization assistance. His first client needs boxes packed before a sudden move. He organizes the work and avoids wasted trip. The client finishes faster and pays a modest fee. Another neighbor needs furniture assembled in a smaller apartment. Alex completes the task using tools he already owns. Small jobs begin filling the gap left by higher rent. Maya helps Alex create a clear weekly work schedule. He protects rest so extra income does not destroy health. Every payment is divided between rent and emergency savings. The emergency fund begins growing instead of shrinking. Alex also sells furniture that no longer fits shared living. Less clutter creates space and produces additional cash. The roommates suggest buying several shared household items. Alex agrees only after dividing ownership and future replacement costs. Clear agreements protect friendships from silent financial tension. Weeks pass and the first higher payment approaches. Alex checks every envelope before transferring the rent. For the first time, the new amount is fully covered. He pays without using debt or destroying his savings. The victory feels small, but its meaning is enormous. Alex survived by changing structure, not chasing miracles. Months later, the arrangement remains stable and affordable. His side work now produces a dependable second income. The emergency fund covers several months of essential expenses. Alex continues comparing housing options without rushing. He no longer assumes one apartment is permanent security. Maya reminds him that flexibility is part of wealth. A home should protect your life, not consume it. Alex faces the viewer beside several housing choices. If your rent doubled next month, what would you change first? Lex wakes before sunrise as an urgent alert flashes. He sits frozen, staring at the message on screen. A glowing AI system overlooks rows of empty desks. His badge turns red and his laptop suddenly locks. A small severance payment sits beside bills still waiting. Rent approaches quickly, while his expected salary disappears completely. His refrigerator holds food for days, not lasting security. Alex approaches the office as worried crowds gather outside. Workers stare at phones while machines continue working inside. Alex watches software finish his former tasks within seconds. Management calls the change efficient, necessary, and unavoidable progress. By noon, Alex carries his career inside one box. Rain falls as one question overwhelms him. What now? Back home, he places the box beside his desk. He refreshes job listings before processing everything he lost. Every opening already shows hundreds of anxious competing applicants. Many listings demand skills Alex has never practiced before. Alex closes the laptop and stares silently upward alone. Next morning, Alex replaces panic with an emergency budget. He lists rent, food, utilities, medicine, and essential transport. His remaining savings become 4 carefully controlled weekly envelopes. The calendar reveals only 6 weeks of financial protection. He calls his landlord before the rent becomes overdue. A temporary payment plan creates time, not permanent safety. Alex cancels subscriptions, quietly draining money every single month. He cooks simple meals with rice, eggs, beans, vegetables. Alex parks his car and returns to cycling daily. Unused electronics, furniture, and clothes become emergency money online. A buyer takes the monitor while Alex counts payment. Automated rejections keep arriving from the brutally crowded market. Another rejection finds Alex eating alone at home again. Old awards surround Alex as he questions their relevance. Credit cards and costly loans tempt Alex with relief. He reaches toward one loan offer, then stops himself. Behind the attractive loan, future bills multiply dangerously fast. Alex closes the offer and opens a blank notebook. He lists every practical task from his former job. Some tasks automate easily, others still require human judgment. First, Alex studies the exact technology that replaced him. He tests a simple AI assistant on his laptop. The tool answers quickly, but several mistakes appear immediately. Alex corrects the report using practical real-world context. AI supplies speed, while Alex provides judgment and responsibility. He begins an online course about automation and workflows. Alex practices writing clear instructions for every AI task. He learns spreadsheets, data analysis, and useful workflow design. Maya visits and notices Alex working late every night. She brings food, then studies his planning board closely. Maya points outside, toward businesses needing practical help nearby. Together, they list struggling businesses across their neighborhood carefully. The bakery owner records every order across several notebooks. A repair shop loses appointments on scattered paper notes. A small store answers the same questions every day. Alex offers the bakery a simple order organizing system. The doubtful owner accepts because the test remains small. Alex combines spreadsheets, forms, and AI summaries without coding. Every bakery order now appears inside one organized dashboard. Mistakes decrease, while preparation becomes faster and noticeably smoother. Alex receives modest payment but gains powerful practical proof. He photographs the workflow and documents its successful results. The repair shop tests Alex's simple scheduling system next. Customer bookings stay organized on one shared digital calendar. The satisfied owner pays Alex and recommends him elsewhere. Alex records several small payments inside his working notebook. He creates one clear service package for small businesses. It promises organized work, automation, and faster customer support. Alex posts successful examples inside local online business groups. Several owners message him with specific practical business questions. Alex schedules short calls and listens before offering solutions. One needs faster replies, another needs fewer costly mistakes. Alex designs small solutions instead of oversized, complicated systems. AI creates drafts while Alex personally verifies every result. One overlooked error suddenly threatens his newly earned reputation. Alex fixes it immediately and openly explains what happened. Afterward, every AI result passes a strict human checklist. Clients feel safer because his entire process remains transparent. More requests arrive, creating the danger of excessive workload. Alex works late again, surrounded by unfinished project windows. Maya finds him sleeping beside his still glowing laptop. Alex limits projects and builds a realistic weekly schedule. Automated templates and reminders now reduce his repetitive workload. He automatically saves part of every client payment received. Savings, taxes, and expenses stay separated before spending begins. Alex still applies selectively for promising full-time roles. His revised resume highlights outcomes, judgment, and automation skills. A company finally invites Alex to a practical interview. He demonstrates workflows while honestly explaining their hidden risks. Interviewers value someone understanding both speed and responsible judgment. Days later, Alex receives a stronger, more flexible offer. He studies every contract detail before accepting from excitement. Alex compares salary, learning, stability, risk, and personal freedom. The employer permits limited independent projects outside working hours. Alex accepts while preserving his small, independent client network. His first day shows humans and AI working together. Alex reviews automated output while coworkers handle complex cases. Productivity rises without leaving rows of office desks empty. Alex trains coworkers to question confident but incorrect answers. He also teaches privacy, security, and responsible data handling. Maya attends a practical community workshop led by Alex. Workers learn to map tasks instead of fearing titles. Nurses, teachers, drivers, and shopkeepers identify adaptable working skills. Communication, judgment, trust, and responsibility remain deeply human strengths. Alex warns against learning random tools without clear problems. Real value comes from solving problems people genuinely understand. Participants exchange contacts, building support before future disruptions arrive. Months later, Alex opens the box from his past. Inside, he finds the badge that once stopped working. Beside it sit contracts, savings, and successful project notes. Alex keeps learning while his financial reserve steadily grows. Another powerful AI update suddenly appears on his phone. Coworkers become nervous, but Alex remains calm and focused. He studies which tasks may transform or disappear next. Alex updates workflows and immediately begins learning useful skills. Over coffee, preparation replaces Alex and Maya's helpless uncertainty. Alex now has several ways to earn and contribute. The future is not simply humans fighting against machines. The future belongs to people directing machines responsibly together. Real protection is not one job, but constant adaptability. If AI replaced your job tomorrow, what would remain? Your title may disappear, but your value keeps evolving.
What if your salary vanished tomorrow with no warning? No warning, no delay, no deposit, just unsettling silence. Your job still exists, but your income suddenly stops. Bills keep moving forward, even when your money cannot. Rent is due in only 3 very short days. Your refrigerator is already sitting there, only half full. Your banking app looks healthy, but only for now. Yet beneath that balance, the countdown has already begun. Most people confidently believe they would be completely fine. That confidence changes the moment they finally calculate everything. And that is exactly what happened next to Alex. At first, he calmly told this was temporary. Maybe payroll was late and would arrive by afternoon. Maybe the bank had simply delayed the transfer again. Maybe everything would somehow correct itself during the night. But morning arrived with exactly the same empty silence. Then a new email suddenly appeared on his screen. Budget freeze, delayed payments, and absolutely no promised timeline. Suddenly, this was no longer a harmless technical glitch. It had become a real 30-day financial survival test. Day 1 still felt surprisingly calm and completely manageable. By day 3, his shrinking balance felt very different. By day 7, every unpaid bill felt deeply personal. By day 10, stress had entered every ordinary routine. Food was no longer casual. Every price required attention. Even buying coffee stopped feeling automatic or harmless. Small daily luxuries suddenly looked shockingly expensive. Now, convenience finally revealed the real price hidden behind comfort. Alex opened his banking history and studied every transaction. He discovered small financial leaks spreading in every direction. Dozens of tiny charges had formed one quiet monster. There was no single disaster, only constant daily drift. That is exactly how most personal budgets quietly fail. Not dramatically, not instantly, but silently over time. So Alex created one brutally honest financial list. Needs went on one side, wants on the other. Rent, food,
utilities, transport, and medicine remained essential. Everything else now had to justify its continued existence. Were canceled immediately that evening. Other comfortable habits took much longer to honestly admit. The first spending cut usually hurts your pride most, because spending often feels exactly like personal freedom. Until income disappears, those bright choices fade. Then freedom becomes flexibility, discipline, and room to adapt. Alex called his landlord before doing anything else. Not to beg, but to communicate early and honestly. Silence almost always makes financial problems more expensive. Honest timing created a little precious room to breathe. Next, Alex examined electricity, water, internet, and phone bills. Then he planned every low-cost meal for the month. After that, he compared transport cards, cycling, and fuel. Finally, he uncovered every hidden recurring monthly charge. He stopped building budgets from hope and vague optimism. He measured exactly how many days he could survive. That single change completely transformed every financial decision. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this today?" he asked, "How many survival days will this cost?" One restaurant meal suddenly became 3 precious working hours. One unnecessary gadget became almost 6 survival days. One careless online click became real pressure tomorrow. But cutting expenses was only half of Alex's battle. The other half required creating movement and fresh income. He looked around his apartment with completely different eyes. Not as belongings anymore, but as useful options. Old electronics became the first obvious things to sell. Spare furniture became another source of immediate cash. Clothes he never wore became useful inventory too. Even forgotten tools could become valuable to someone else. Survival truly begins the moment financial denial finally ends. His first successful sale felt strangely emotional and uncomfortable, but fresh cash flow restored a little breathing room. Then Alex forced himself to ask a harder question. What useful thing can I do that people need? Not dream jobs right now, but practical, useful work. He knew how to write clear and simple content. He could organize documents, schedules, deliveries, and daily tasks. He could help local shops move their business online. He could teach beginners basic digital tools patiently. None of these opportunities sounded glamorous or impressive. But during a crisis, useful always beats impressive. He posted small service offers inside several local groups. At first, almost nobody replied to any message. That painful silence is exactly where most people quit. Alex changed the offer, but never changed the goal. He made the promise clearer, easier, faster, and safer. Then his first real client finally sent a message. A bakery owner needed help organizing daily delivery orders. Alex built a simple system using lists and schedules. Within days, the bakery saved valuable time and confusion. Alex earned his first modest payment outside his salary. It was not big money by any reasonable measure, but psychologically, that small payment changed everything inside him. He was no longer sitting passively, waiting for rescue. He was rebuilding leverage through skills, savings, and clients. His neighbor Maya noticed the change almost immediately. She followed one practical rule about personal money. Never depend completely on only one financial door. One income, one account, one plan is dangerously fragile. 2 or 3 options create valuable breathing room. That simple sentence remained permanently inside Alex's mind. So he began building a stronger financial structure. First, he accepted a smaller and simpler lifestyle. Then he created a cleaner, more honest monthly budget. Next, he set a clear emergency savings target. Then he developed 2 realistic, reliable, side income paths. Finally, he created one rule for every purchase. Will this purchase buy freedom or create future stress? That one question filtered almost every spending decision. Slowly, the constant panic began disappearing from his life, not because the underlying financial problem had vanished, but because Alex had become stronger than the problem. 30 days later, his delayed salary finally arrived. And then something genuinely surprising happened inside him. He did not suddenly feel wealthy or completely safe. Instead, for the first time, he felt fully aware. A paycheck alone can never guarantee lasting security. Practical skills create security when normal income disappears. Emergency savings create security when life suddenly changes. Flexibility creates security when every original plan fails. So if your salary vanished tomorrow, would you survive?